Hi, welcome to Let's Roll. I'm Paul, your host, and this isn't part of this episode. This is me explaining to you that what you're about to listen to is our pilot episode that we recorded about a year and a half before everything else you've listened to this series, which is my way of saying, A, this might be a little different format-wise than what you've already heard, and B, Rowan Ellis is brilliant. So sit down, walk around, I don't care, I'm not your boss, and enjoy the following content. Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Roll, the podcast where every week we play a tabletop role-playing game with our guests and get to know them a little better through this story. Our guest this week is YouTuber Rowan Ellis, the pinnacle educator of LGBTQ+ history and media literacy. Rowan is joining us today to play some Dungeons and/or Dragons. Hopefully both.
Hopefully.
No guarantees. Thank you for playing today. Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited.
We should start with a little backstory about you. What is your experience with TTRPGs, aside from that time that we played D&D together for D&D?
Yeah, so I bloomin' love D&D. I love and will forever love rogues, and for some unhinged reason, today I decided to play a druid, which I've never played before, and it turns out they can do a lot of stuff, which you need to remember.
What is a druid?
Druids are the little hippies of the D&D world. Although, having said that, that's kind of like this.
I misheard you and thought you said they were commies. I was like, what a weird term for you to
yeah,
use.
both those communist hippies. Although I feel like nowadays there's not really only one way of playing either the races or the classes, so it's very much like the stereotype that you say. But they're up with nature. But whether nature to them means like the red in tooth and claw, everyone's out for themselves version of nature, or the we love to hug a tree version of nature. Yeah. Also, they can wild shape, so they can turn into an animal.
I've come to really love I think it's Circle of Spores druids, the ones who are all about death is a natural part of nature.
That was actually one of the options that a lot of my friends were like, play this one, and then I just ignored them and decided Circle of the Shepherd instead.
As for the listeners at home, what's the Circle of the Shepherd's hook?
Essentially, it's like a type of druid you can play, and I picked this one because I like the idea of like being able to, you can like summon the little animals and stuff. And I thought that was kind of cute. Also, I went very straightforward and decided that this character is also just a shepherd.
Oh, nice.
So it's like a double shepherd situation.
Come off the back of the double shepherd bit and be like, it's basically a lasagna, but we put a layer of potato instead of pasta.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
I super want to make this now. Cary, we've talked a little bit about druids. Let's dig into your character you've brought us today.
Yes.
Name? Class. I like species over race. I don't think it's a perfect adaptation of that, but...
So her name's Sorrel.
Lovely.
Like the herb. Hill dwarf and a druid Circle of the Shepherd.
Double shepherd.
Double shepherd.
Yeah, okay, good. So you're aware we've had a pre-show chat with our producers, and that conversation has inspired today's session. I hope you will be delighted to hear, with your sheep-centric dwarven shepherd, that we are off to a world of queer pirates.
Yay!
Sound good?
Yes, 100%. I know exactly where this will have come from as the #1 black sails enthusiast in the entire world, which is the Queer Pirate Show. This makes total sense. And now I'm looking at the spells that I chose, and I'm like, wow, Rowan, none of the water spells, really? You really didn't think that might be a good idea? So,
well, let's not delay any longer. Rowan, are you ready?
Yeah, let's roll.
In the world of Fathom Reese, a mystical land of ancient dangers and immediate adventures, merchant vessels dart between the islands of the Uthalassen archipelago. Crew ever watchful for treacherous weather, malevolent sea monsters, and the greatest danger to shipping of all, piracy. As a protracted war in the far west has caused the Empire to relax its iron grip on the region into more of a loose handshake, the absence of an Imperial Navy presence has allowed communities of pirates to flourish in the region over the last few years. Multicoloured sails and a rainbow flag with a skull of white, pink, blue, brown and black. This is the Polychrome, the ship of a band of queer cutthroats and brigands known as the Jollier Rogers. A found family and prolific queer community of brigands who have rebelled against the Empire's restrictive rules on subjects like marriage equality and self-identification. Sorrel, your character, joined the crew a few months ago along with your childhood friend Jim. Many of the crew are on deck brutally hungover in the morning light, but others are completing important maintenance tasks around the vessel. 2 of them, however, are in the hold playing cards. So using a barrel as a table for your game of drowning doubles, a game I have made up.
Yes.
Jim's always been very competitive, and today is no different. You're searching his face for any sign of weakness or a tell to give you an advantage. You can see as Jim is furiously moving his cards back and forth to try and make a pattern, you realise he is moving them too much for them to be any discernible pattern of cards, whereas you have a pretty good hand. What's the name of that hand? You know, in poker, it's like a flush.
Yeah, it's like a fluff. It's like a
fluff?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a little fluffy sheep. What I imagine is that when you rob ships, some of them are going to be merchant ships with kids on board, and you're like, okay, we're not going to be mean, but I will take this child's game of Snap with farmyard animals and create this game in which your royal fluff is if you just got straight sheep.
Yeah, you throw your cards down, revealing 5 sheep. Jim grimaces and just looks at his hand and puts that down, and it's a cow, a wolf, a sheep, a rock, which is not from this set of cards,
different set,
and the Emperor from a tarot deck.
Go.
It's alright. You can beat me next time.
Yeah, I know I will. I think it's enough gaming for now. The captain wanted to see me about the new mission.
Okay.
You head up the stairs to the deck, and as you step out of the hold, you're presented with the familiar hustle and bustle of the Polychrome's colourful crew as they go about the ship's upkeep. You hear a muffled clang, followed by the boom of the galley door being kicked open. A huge iron pot, steam rising from the top of it, barrels out through the door, and as it goes past you, you see it's being carried by a 3.5-foot-tall king prawn, wearing a chef's hat and an apron, and an enormous, obviously false moustache. This is Cook King, the highly strung and dedicated ship's cook. Buenos dias, scum! I have prepared for you a breakfast of hot chocolate for the hungover crew, but as is my custom, I challenge any of you people to make a better hot chocolate than I, Cook King, for I am the greatest chef on the open sea. I'm told that you have been recognised for your great hot chocolate historically.
Yeah, hilariously by a newspaper who asked me if they could do an article on it, and I said no, and then they just did it anyway. I made a TikTok about the best hot chocolate.
What is the best hot chocolate recipe?
Okay, listen, you get the little hot chocolates in the blue container.
Yes.
You have to mix that with a milk, obviously, of your choice, and it has to be in a saucepan. Oat is what I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oat's the best for
It's
hot
really
chocolate.
good, really good hot chocolate.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon, Vietnamese cinnamon if you can get it, and you heat it up. Don't boil it because it will do some funky stuff. It won't go very well. And it is so good. It's so creamy, so rich, so good.
However, Cook King, a massive prawn,
A massive prawn.
has just thrown down.
So she'd probably be like, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Oh, a new challenger has entered the kitchen. You have 5 minutes to unite free reign of the ship's supplies. We have plenty of krill.
I don't know if I'll be needing it, but thank you for letting me know about what you've got in the kitchen. That's actually quite useful.
It's also what they have in this hot chocolate. It is the secret
Ooh,
ingredient.
okay.
It's just krill.
I actually would love to summon my spirit totem, which is a hawk, that's going to give me advantage on perception checks and wisdom checks, just to make sure nothing could go wrong with me, boiling over the milk, anything like that.
So with a hawk comes into being, ready to watch some milk for a period.
100%. Also, I love the fact that I get one use of spirit totem and I've chosen to use it in this particular way. But I make no regrets.
So, what skill do you want to try and use to make hot chocolate? Or to make the raw ingredients be hot chocolate?
I think I'm going to use survival, because I think
that's the most legitimate one.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for the fact that we're cooking on a ship. I guess we got the milk from the cow that lives on the ship, which
Yeah, there is a ship's cow.
is a thing.
There's also a ship's goat because some people have allergies.
Yeah.
And there's some ship's oats.
I love that.
in case
Very
people
queer pirate
read
coded.
non-generic.
Very much. Yeah, I feel like survival is probably the one
Sure.
to go with.
Okay, so make me a survival check with advantage,
Okay.
and I will make one for the prawn.
That is an 18.
It is by the thinnest of margins, by which I mean 1,
Oh, God.
which is the thinnest of margins, but Cook King has got a 17
Yes!
on his krill-based hot chocolate recipe.
Yeah.
There's a very tense moment on the ship, and you realise when you come out, everyone else who should be working is now arranged in a sort of semicircle.
Like Ready, Steady, Cook vibes.
Exactly like Ready, Steady, Cook. That's precisely where I was going with this. A very gregarious member of the crew has come out to kind of host this, and there's samples brought out, and the two of you are blindfolded, and taste tests are done between the two of you and a selection of crew, and after a vote, all the crew hold up red peppers.
Green tomatoes. No.
As opposed to, was it green,
green peppers, red tomatoes.
They hold up red peppers, which was your assigned
Yay!
apron. You win, at which point Cook King looks genuinely impressed.
Ooh,
and it's like, you have bested me this day, but you will not best the shepherd pie I'm making later on tonight.
I'm kind of just feeling like I can't take this from him. Like, I can't tell him that's my speciality. So I'm like, oh, well, hot chocolate's one of the only things I really know how to make. So I thought today was the day to give it a go.
You hear Jim's voice bellowing from the upper deck as he shouts,
Captain on deck!
The entire crew, as one, turns, except for one crew member who's still a bit drunk, and they turn the other way. Stepping through their cabin door and into the sunlight is a beautiful birdfolk with the plumage and head of a golden eagle, wearing an expertly cut leather long coat to allow for their wings, a golden belt, and an ancient tricorn hat. This is Captain Olga Featherfine, the captain of the Jollier Rogers.
I would like to say at this point it's like we're at the end of the minute, and so I would like my hawk to also salute and then immediately vanish.
There's a soft popping sound.
I'm just like, worth it. I'll see you in 24 hours, buddy.
Olga steps to the balcony part of the ship and addresses the crew.
Listen up, my loves. Last night's drinking and dancing was a treat, to be sure. But we're back to work today, and our business is mayhem and plunder.
Do like a polite clap.
That's actually what happens. It feels like a part where a pirate crew would cheer, but everybody else is like... Except what, like a couple of people are like...
Yeah, snapping. Do some more jazz hands.
Yeah.
I have had word from a confidential source that we are less than a day's sail away from an Imperial merchant ship sailing to Predach, and they're practically overflowing with gold, silver, and bad literature, which I think is our civic duty to help them carry the load, whether they want us to or not.
Yeah! Like, come to, like, yeah, we're cheering, yay!
Yeah. You can see Jim is, like, doing that gesture that suggests, like, more applause, please.
Just like someone who's like at one of those live TV recordings of comedy shows where it's like holding up the applause sign, like, applause now, yeah.
Everything short of holding up the applause sign.
They're Imperials, so they'll be armed to the teeth, and they'll sure put up a good fight. But this take will guarantee our futures for years to come. I've plotted a course. I'm going to be launching an attack under the cover of darkness to give us the advantage and take these Imperials by surprise. Now, I'm no legendary captain. I've not been ordained by the great Kraken Zuthior like the heroes of old. But the spirits of the sea have given this ship and this crew and this captain a fair share of good luck. So know this. We're not just a crew here on the Polychrome. We're a family. I'd do anything for you, just as I'm sure you'd do anything for me. For freedom, for love, for the Jolly Rogers.
Yeah, yay!
Yeah. Like, some people try to echo that, but, like, there's not enough space.
It's like when someone does a toast and you're like, they're like, for freedom, and some people are like, just for the jolly look, yep, yay!
Yeah, it's like somebody else was like, go team! Oh, no.
Go Wildcats!
Showtime! Like, no one, there's been no consensus as to what this is like. It feels like it's got the cadence of a thing that's been done thousands of times before, but she's never said this before. So what follows is sort of like half an hour of a bit of prep, hoisting at the anchor, dropping the sails, making the ship ready for sail, and very slowly turning it around. I don't know how ships do that, but it's D&D. Magic!
Ships.
And over the course of this time, you're hearing little bits of people chatting and little bits of gossip and little dramas coming up. Turns out, somebody borrowed somebody else's pirate notebook someone's read somebody else's diary. And would you make a perception check?
That is an 18.
An 18? Ooh, okay.
I'm going to hear some good gossip.
Well, you do. I'll allow you to make up a piece of gossip based on one of the crew. But you also hear Colby the cabin boy asking Jim, who do you think the captain got this tip from? It's just that she doesn't usually keep this sort of thing secret. And Jim is like,
I've no idea, Colby, but birds keep coming and going from my quarters all week with messages from the islands, but keep your closer chest, so probably not for supply, right?
I've just realised I'm playing Jim like a low vocal register James Acaster.
I would just, in my head, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm best friends with James Acaster.
Other than that...
I'm fully going to stick my head, like, wherever, I'm seeing them, they're, like, having this conversation between hammocks, and I'm, like, sticking my head in to be like, is that...
really slowly
is that
lighting up.
good? Is that bad? Like, is it bad that she's keeping a secret?
I think Albie's right. It's all usual for the captain to keep secrets from the crew, but maybe it's the sweet sauce. The captain doesn't want to ruin. Like, keep it a secret in the captain's interests. Maybe.
Are you saying that because you actually think it, or are you saying that because you think that you should be loyal to the captain because you're looking for a long and storied career on a crew?
Well, I know a little bit of part A, a little bit of part B, but I think... Here's the thing. The captain's always been pretty straight up with us. We've been in the ship for a couple of months. Usually, the captain keeps things pretty open.
But do you think we will know if it's important?
I would think if the captain thought it was important or like mission critical, we'd probably get told, and told too sweet.
Okay, well, I trust you and you trust her, so that's enough for me. I heard some really interesting gossip when I was walking over here.
Oh, spill.
You know how Jas has been kind of flirting with...
Honeycombing, the bee folk.
Yeah, so...
Sweet, hot bee.
I heard that actually they're already together and have been together since the beginning of the trip, but they've just been pretending not to know each other. They think it will be like really cute and romantic for them to have like a fake meet cute on the ship.
They're staging a meet cute?
Yeah, for themselves.
When?
Like right now, like it's happening.
What? Well, let's go.
You and Jim scurry out to the deck to try and find this live fake meet cute that's being arranged. As you see Jazz just crossing the deck, dropping 20 pencils
Classic.
in the direction of honeycombing. In real life, stepping away from the D and the D for a second. Tell us about the Sapphic bingo card.
Okay, so it's specifically, I will specify that it is a bingo card around Sapphic movies, but there is a part of me that's like, maybe you could just do it around you and your friends if you are a group of Saphics, because it would probably also apply, where there is a bunch of stuff that happens within movies around women who love women, which are, let's say cliche now, a little bit of tropes that we recognise. Everything from affairs, a really big fan of affairs in there. A bunch of that stuff, which is very fun. So I made a little Sapphic bingo card and put it online on my website for people to kind of use when they're doing a little Sapphic movie marathon.
Out of 16, how many would you say constitutes a win for a Sapphic piece of media to be?
Well, I don't know whether you're familiar with the concept of bingo, but you just make a line. That's how
here's
bingo
the thing.
works.
Right now, I'm realising I once made a bingo card for the Edinburgh Festival, and I did not put the rules of bingo on it. I was just like, get the most of the things.
Get the most of the things.
Oh, no.
I love the idea that everyone else was like, also just like, what do we do with this piece of paper that we
I genuinely think on it was like, when you've ticked everything off, first person to send me a thing gets a prize. A Twix. It was always a Twix. So, returning to the Polychrome. You've been under sail quite a while now. Things have calmed down a little bit. As the Polychrome makes its way to the intercept point where you're expecting to encounter this merchant vessel, one of the lookouts from the Crow's Nest, Kalaka Crow, another birdfolk, there's quite a few of them on board, but a birdfolk with almost rainbow plumage, cries out they've spotted something. Climb down, they're a bird. They fly down from the
flap
Crow's
down.
Nest. Actually, they love drama, so they just jump, and then at the last second,
Bang!
wings!
Okay, that's very cool.
So land, sort of superhero landing, wings out, then go, oh, Sorrel! I spied a shipwreck off to port, which I realise now is the other direction that I'm pointing in.
I mean, I don't know which side is port still. I still get those mixed up, so I wouldn't have known either way.
The way I remember it was this. Port is left on a table, but never on a ship. No, port is left on a ship, but never on a table.
I feel like if people just pointed, I would be able to figure it out, and that's maybe what I need.
Fair. Well, there.
Okay.
Points. As a sailor, you have a telescope. Which is... Make that noise again? It's a wet telescope.
It's
That's
so...
weird.
Listen, we're on the ocean. It's
okay. You put the telescope up to your eye. You can see what appears to be a mostly sunken ship. It's mainly just debris floating in the water, and there's a bit of the ship's hull still above water but slowly sinking, atop which you can see a lone survivor, a figure silhouetted against the bright skies of the open seas. They appear to be holding a polearm, a spear, and there's a real sense of paranoia and anxiety to their vibe. And as you're looking at this, you hear a second as the captain is next to you, extends her telescope.
It looks like another ship has been wrecked there. What do you think, Sorrel? Do we try and investigate and save the survivor, or carry on to our
Yes!
Oh, okay.
We should just go and help them. We should see if they're okay.
All right, hard to starboard. Wait, port. That way. Could someone just paint them on the side?
Yes, there's another little sort of sailboat off the back of the ship. The name of that boat is?
The Swoop.
The Swoop. Sure.
I feel like Sora would really be such, like, she's very used, I think, to being in a situation when she's being her shepherd where, like, she knows what she needs to do. She knows there are dangers, but the dangers are always going to be someone coming to try and steal the flock, creatures trying to attack the flock, someone in the, like, little lamb in the flock gets lost. And she knows how to deal with all of that. And, like, being thrown into a situation where she's, like, in sea, trying to figure out the ways in which her powers or her abilities are going to be helpful is like slightly overwhelming. And so all she knows is like there's someone who's the last of their flock who's like on this ship who she needs to help. And so I think she's going to jump down with like very little thought to exactly how she'll help, other than like dragging this person off the wreck and bringing them back aboard.
So you've sailed up to, I don't know, a couple of boat lengths away from the wreck, and then can I get another perception check from you, please?
Carry the 1 to the 14.
14. Okay, grand. You set the Swoop to head towards this survivor. A pretty direct course, because there's no reason to go around. Oh, you're just avoiding barrels and things. You notice a couple of things. The first thing that strikes you as odd is the Polychrome is not making any secrets that it's sailing up to this person. But they've glanced up and have seen the ship. They haven't acknowledged it. They're not waving. They're maintaining a laser focus on the surface of the water around them.
Ooh, interesting.
Second thing is, well, let's put it this way. You don't know what they do for a living, but they're dressed as an Imperial soldier. And the third thing, some of the loose planks, they're like quite big timbers floating in the water. As you get within probably about 50, 60 feet of the big bit of ship that is slowly sinking, you see one of these big timbers change colour from dark wood to a sort of oily purple, and then just move through the water and then vanish underneath. And on the underside you see a load of little suckers, as you can now see a shape moving beneath the surface of the waves.
Who else is with me in the boat? Is it just me?
I believe it is just you.
Okay, sweet. So I think I'm gonna call out, hello there, are you okay? Could you get over here? Should we
No!
If we come any closer, are we going to be in danger? Or does it really not make a difference at this point?
You're already in danger!
Okay. In which case, I guess we can't get any more in danger by coming to help you. And I'm going to just keep kind of rowing out to try and get to a point where they can jump aboard the Swoop.
As you shout, like, I'm definitely coming to help you.
I'm coming.
You see, as the soldier turns to look at you, you see behind the soldier, just rising up out of the water, a pair of tentacles that come from either side, grab the soldier, wrap around her torso, and begin to drag her beneath the waves. At which point, it is time to roll for initiative!
Oh, no!
And also time for me to dig through my huge stack of paper and find the stats of a kraken.
Listen, if you're going to roll a natural one, initiative is a great time to roll it. So I was just so shocked by what she thought maybe was just like a couple of little boys being one huge thing that's just bear hugged this woman, that she's too shocked to do anything, and therefore her initiative is 2.
Great news.
Yep.
You're not the only one who rolled a 1 for initiative. The kraken, however...
rolled great, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a 5. So, on initiative 5, in this low-scoring initiative combat, with one of its attacks, loses its grip on the soldier.
Oh, yay!
With a nat 1.
Yay!
The tentacle simply sliding off of the soldier as if she had been buttered. Terrible.
Those barrels
example.
are just full of butter.
Or as you look around, all the barrels floating past you are just butter, grease.
Ooh!
Or a selection of oils. Second attack, however, is much more successful.
Yep.
And with a 22, the soldier is whisked off of her feet and into the ocean. The soldier gets a dex save to, also pretty good, and drops the spear, but grabs with her right hand. She's just holding on to the hull of the ship. And it is then your turn.
Okay, could I cast Entangle?
Ooh, yeah. I just make a saving throw against that.
Yes. I'm assuming it's against my spell save DC situation, which is 14.
I got a 7. So,
Ooh!
yes, you summon the energies of the natural world and just sort of amp up the amount of seaweed and kelp in the area. In your mind's eye, you can see from the ocean floor just bursts of green vegetation like erupting out of the soil and cycling through the ocean, like bubbles rising up from the deep as all this plant growth just whoosh up from the seabed, wrapping around this kraken. The kraken is not immobile, but the kraken is now restrained.
I think I'm going to sail slightly further towards the ship, just in case, if it comes after me, there's anyone on the ship who can use ranged weapons.
So you're going to sail back towards the Polychrome?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. Just because of the nature of how boats work, you have to sail towards them to get the turn going.
Mm-hmm.
As you get a bit closer, could you make your choice of nature or perception?
What's my perception? Well, my perception's +6, so I feel like I'll use that. Aha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 22.
22. A great choice. As you sail into this situation a little bit more, you can see, because the kraken is now partially above the level of the water because you have forced it up by this enormous amount of kelp you have created. You can tell from the markings on it, it's an infant. It's like a very young kraken. Give me a nature check.
11.
11. Even if you haven't encountered krakens, they're a big part of piratical lore. The first kraken being supposedly anointing the greatest of the captains of the pirate communities. You would know that. They can't speak, but they can communicate telepathically. So if you wanted to communicate with the kraken, you could try thinking at it real loud. Wasn't where I thought that sentence was going to go, but here we are. D&D, baby!
I also have speech of the woods. I don't know whether that would count.
Oh, yeah, you're also a druid,
well,
so you just probably
so
speak
I can
to
probably
that.
just speak to it. But but also it's useful because if I actually probably do want to speak telepathically to it, because if I know that this is an Empirical soldier and we're not vibing with them, I might want to say some stuff that the soldier can't hear.
Sure.
Did you destroy this ship for a reason?
Hello. My parent, Zuthio, was attacked by the ship and therefore chose to destroy it. I've just come to feed for butter. A delicacy amongst my people.
I mean, kelp butter sounds
It's
delicious.
horrible. There's not a lot of dairy in the sea.
When you say you've come to feed, are you trying to feed on this person?
No, blah, 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 blah. Very clear, I'm here for the butter. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, sometimes when people are scared, I know you're only young, but you're very big in comparison to this person. And maybe she was just scared.
Blah, 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 in comparison to loads of things. Some rocks, a fish, but small compared to...
Your parents?
Yes. Everything's relative.
Everything is relative. So you understand, if something really much bigger than you came over and just started being really near, menacing, and you didn't know, are they going to try and hurt me? Are they going to try and take me away from my parents? Then you might be scared and you might try and attack. So maybe I'm thinking that we could put the lady down, because then she might be like, oh, I didn't know that the kraken could talk like this. I didn't know. I thought the kraken was trying to hurt me. But I don't know how long she can hold her breath for. So we should probably get her up above the water for a bit.
I can't lift them out of the water right now because I am being hugged by a lot of green string.
I'm going to cancel my entangle.
Okay.
Which I guess will just all fall, gently fall away.
All the kelp floats away from the
Just,
centerpiece, so
like,
it's like
floating
a ring of green underneath the surface of the ocean, and then it dissipates. The kraken sort of hoists the now mostly drowned soldier up onto the last bit of the ship's
I'll take
hull.
mostly.
Blah, 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 blah. Thank you for stopping them from stabbing me.
Okay, and I'm going to
High
turn...
five!
I'm
And
gonna-
a tentacle just surfaces out of the water, easily the size of you, and then some.
little
Wet
high
slapping noise. The soldier, for the first time, their eyes scan past you, and it sees the Polychrome behind you, and just goes, "What now, pirate?" But they really spit that word out at you.
I don't actually know. I mainly came here to rescue you, to make sure you're okay, and then bring you back to the ship. So I guess whatever the people on the ship decide.
Well, I don't really have much of a choice, do I?
Oh, also, kraken, baby?
blah, 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 yeah.
I know that you were saying that your parents are the ones that took down the ship.
Yeah.
How likely are they to take down the ship I'm on? Like, could you say to them, hey, maybe there's this, like, one ship that maybe you should not be taking down because my friend lives on there?
All the ships kind of from beneath, they're very the same.
Okay.
Well, hey, here's the deal. If that kind of thing happens, or you need a hand with, like, another thing, shout my name, Xanthe, into the water,
Okay.
and I'll just come help.
Oh, thank you.
As you make your way back to the ship, you can see many of the other crew there with telescopes, or just looking, because it's not that far away. A little round of applause starts up, because you've done something impressive, even though from a third party's perspective, not at all clear what happened. I'm curious, how long have you been YouTubing?
Oh, a while. So I used to do, back in the day when video responses were a thing, I used to do video responses to people, making videos about philosophy. That was my thing.
Okay.
And ended up doing more what I do now around, like, history and queer stuff and everything in just after my master's. So it would have been like just under 10 years ago, maybe something like that.
How has YouTube changed in that 10-year period?
I mean, so many ways. I think back when it started, it was not something you could do as a career. It was just a kind of strange place to put videos on the internet. And then when careers started to emerge, there was this interesting space. People in the industry refer to it as like the wild, like YouTube being the Wild West, where there would be a lot of like people would do deals with teenagers who were just making videos in their bedroom reasonably naively, would sign with these companies who had quite like predatory terms and conditions within their contracts and would take all of their AdSense money. And now I think it's slightly more professionalized, but it is not that old as an industry, and so it still probably has some way to go in terms of how those kind of a fair space for workers is created. But the more and more people are doing YouTube, views that people get pretty commonly on their videos now that they would consider like a reasonably, oh, well, the video did quite well, would be some of the best performing videos you would have seen 10 years ago as well.
It feels like there's been a real sense of, I don't know if inflation is the right term, but I think it is. The expectation of numbers has changed massively.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think as well we've had these communities have been kind of built up and have broken apart, and people have ended up going into different industries, and so we've kind of seen these waves of creators come through. And I think now probably what's going on is the like niching down of content, where the way the algorithm works is kind of like very complicated, but at the moment it's creating these ideas of what a user or a viewer is interested in that will kind of map onto other users who might be interested in the same stuff, and so you'll kind of circle around the same kinds of creators. So on the YouTube in the analytics, you can see what channels people who watch your channel are subscribed to or are like watching that month, and it's often very similar people making very similar content.
I looked at that comparatively recently for one of the channels I work on, and it was exactly like going to an in-person audition again. Which is it's just me in a room full of more better looking versions of me.
The same people, exactly.
Yeah. So what's happened is the captain has very cleanly and crisply ordered that your Imperial prisoner be taken to the brig. I should point out the brig on the Polychrome is a sweet deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's been decorated by a team of the ship's crew. There's a hammock in there, it's really nice. There's a selection of scented candles, which are enchanted to not be able to set fire to the ship for safety reasons. And then just like a big book of Sudoku. It's one of the nicer rooms on the ship, I think, because everyone understands the practicalities of having to keep people prisoner, but no one likes the actuality of it. Everyone's like made one thing, like it might be a piece of art or an activity. What's Sorrel added to the brig?
I feel like Sorrel seems like the kind of person who would do like whittling, like up on the hills and be like, let me just do a quick whittle. And so I think there's just like little sheep, like a little flock.
3 and 1 is each is progressively smaller.
Yeah.
Do they fit inside each other?
Unfortunately, no. You could probably build a tower with them if you were so inclined.
Okay. So yes, the prisoner has been taken down to the brig.
Isn't this nicer than when you were on the ocean being attacked?
Yes.
Okay.
Cook King has turned up with an option of 3 different meals and hot chocolate, which you realise he is now making with your recipe. Night falls. The ship's running lights are set, but limitedly, so they can't be seen. So the lights are set. I can't think what the word is. Shields on one side of the lantern, so you can't see them from off the deck.
There's a real sense of rising tension as you're sailing towards this ambush you're enacting on a merchant ship.
I love how you've basically described the classic queer neurodivergent energy of like, you don't have the big light on, you've got lots of little lights, you've just got a mood atmosphere. And when you were like, it's like the lights are a little bit dimmed by it, and I'm like, is it putting some kind of nice material over it so it's just like a nice pink glow in the corner? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's just creating like the queerest pirate ship lighting setup, and I'm like, yeah, that checks.
You also, as you go around the ship, you realise a lot of the lanterns are scented, but like not in complementary sense.
Just like different zones.
Yeah, everyone's had their own go, and there's a real sense of like individuality that hasn't quite come together, but everyone's cool with it. All else is darkness. You are sneaking through the night like a knife
through butter.
Through butter.
The butter from the ship.
Also, you've rescued. You've
on my way back, I was pulling so many barrels.
You've got 14 barrel-sized containers of butter.
At one point, I was like, "Sorry, we actually need more space for the barrels in the sloop. Can you just like Can you just kick from behind? Or you just go back in the water and just kind of like hold on?"
Can you give me a perception check, please? You're not the only one making this.
16.
You can, in the middle distance, just see the distant flicker of lamplight, which you identify as the merchant vessel. It looks a little bigger than you would have expected for a standard merchant vessel, but you were told it was heavily laden.
There they are. Exactly where my source said they'd be. Alright, crew. The time has come. All hands to their stations. You, Estelado, see if you can't take down their mast with the first volley. Burn the sails. There'll be no getting away. Then we board and finish the job. Let's make quick work of this team. You ready?
Okay, I'm just unclear. Is this like a we're fighting people, we're going to injure them kind of mission, or is this like we scare them so that they don't fight and then there's no one needs to get hurt energy?
No, it's probably more of the fighty kind.
Okay.
Because if we scare them and then they do fight, then we just get killed.
Okay, that's good to know. I can probably help with that.
Would you make me your choice of a perception or insight check as the crew scuttle around the deck, readying the cannons? So you're coming up.
Read them and weep. It's a 20.
It's a
with
natural
a 6.
20.
So it's a natural 26.
Was that a perception or insight check?
That was perception.
I'm perceiving everything, baby.
Yeah. With a 26, you see through time. Like I said, it's a bit bigger than you would have expected for a merchant ship. But you can see outlined against the dark grey of the night sky and the clouds. You can see the silhouette of the ship, and it's the wrong shape. For a merchant ship, it's pointier for a start. It looks more like the warship, if you had to pick.
Oh boy.
And also, with the Nat 20, you can see that the captain is off. It feels like trying to hide nerves. You can't put your finger exactly on it. The rest of the crew seem as enthused and as confused by the chants as normal. But usually the captain would just push through and do that 3-beat thing that no one likes.
I think I'm going to say... Captain?
Yep.
And I'm not necessarily keeping my voice. I'm not shouting it, but I'm not keeping it quiet. So if anyone over here, say over here.
1 second. Fire! Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, are you nervous because this is a warship and not the merchant ship that you thought it would be?
It's a what?
And then the cannons go off. You hear the cannons go off in a pleasing, one after another thing. Also, you can see that they've prepped the gunpowder, so as the cannons go off, there's 7 on each side. As the 7 cannons facing the ship go off, you can see each plume of smoke is a different rainbow colour. And with a series of thunderous booms, fires erupt, and you can see the crew on the enemy ship panic because they're now lit up by the fires from the cannonballs, but also their deck lights are lit as part of a rapid drill. The Polychrome pulls up alongside the enemy vessel, and members of your crew do the cool swinging over on ropes thing.
That's my
you
favourite.
see Jim. Oh no.
Oh no, Jim.
Jim just grab a rope and
All right, let's go.
swings
All right, I've got. Whoa!
Climb back up the rope.
The rope is not attached to it.
Jim.
It's a pulley. Jim has just
get back
dunked
in the
himself
ship,
in the
Jim.
water. Even Cook King scurries across the ship with a cleaver in either claw. And you lose the captain in the melee because the captain's just leapt into the fray.
I would love to cast Spike Growth in a 20-foot area around the helm.
Can I get an initiative roll from you as
Yes.
I make a number? Actually, I pre-rolled the initiative for this group.
11.
Okay. Let us crack on.
Kraken, am I right?
Oh, puns!
Puns
I'm the pun
galore,
boy.
baby. Puns.
Okay, so with initiative 11, you are
of our featured characters at the head of the pack initiative.
What a wild...
I want to... setting the stage, there is, like, full tilt piratical stuff happening around you. You're in the middle of a mass pitched battle. You can see Jim up on the deck at the back of your ship, having clambered back up, slinging like bolts of magical and arcane energy across at one of the enemy spellcasters, who is readying a series of what might be a lightning bolt. It's hard to tell from here in the dark. I'll let you get away with spike growth as a pre-initiative thing because it was a cool idea.
Thank you.
You can see around where their helm is, 3 of their officers maybe diving for cover, injured by the spike growth, but also the ship's steering wheel itself, the wheel itself rather, has erupted with spikes. You have successfully incapacitated this ship, at least for the next couple of rounds. A great move. The other thing that's happened up there is one of them, who was carrying an oil lamp, has dropped it in the course of diving for cover to get away from the inexplicably sharp floor. And so now the helm is also on fire.
I love that.
Hooray! But initiative 11, you're up. What would you like to do?
Oh, again, I'm up again.
You can see ahead of you, there is a character striding out of the smoke and darkness, sword drawn and pointed directly at you, like marching towards you, having clocked that you're the one who's just caused the helm to go all on fire, like a barbecue or something.
You know what? I'm gonna wild shape, baby. We're gonna wild shape. So I am going to turn into a giant wolf spider.
A wolf spider?
A wolf spider.
Opposite for a shepherd.
I know.
And also a spider.
How far away is this person from me at the moment?
They are, I'm going to say 30 foot in front of you right now, but very clearly intent on closing that gap and doing a stab. Possibly more than one.
Okay, so I would love to take a bite attack. 18?
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
Okay, so they are going to take 1d6 plus 1 piercing damage. So 3 piercing damage. I've just realised that I have Web Walker and Web Sense.
Yep.
Would we count the rigging of the ship as a web?
Of course we would. What is a ship but a big spider?
I am so excited now.
Okay, con save. I got a 10.
Okay, so that was a fail, so you're also going to take 2d6 of poison damage.
You scurry left, scurry right, scoot up some rigging, and then web down behind them, biting them on the shoulder with your enormous spider mandibles. I feel like mandibles is the right word. Your horrible bug mouth. Poisoning them as you do. They spin away from you, sword drawn. It is now their turn. They reach into their belt, pull out an ornate-looking flintlock pistol with like a cool flame decal down the side.
That is very cool.
And aim at you with a 12?
Just misses. It's 13.
Just grazing your awful spider body. The bullet zips past you, and you can hear the bullet go, whee! Because that's the effect the magic item has. Whee! It makes the bullets sentient. They really dig being shot. Whee! I do get a second attack, though. Oh, throwing daggers. They have throwing daggers. 20.
That hit, yep, that hit.
A dirty 20. You are hit with a single dagger in the thorax.
Yeah.
4 damage. More things on the ship explode. There's a lot more murder-centric drama happening. However, you're in the rigging. There are also enemy crew in the rigging. A chap from the crow's nest is scrambling down the rigging towards you and is going to take a swing at you on initiative 2. Oh, nat 20, baby!
Oh, no.
You can see now it's a kenku, another birdfolk, black plumage.
The enemy of the spider.
The birds, the natural enemy of the spider.
How dare.
But this guy has scrambled down from the crow's nest, knife in his beak, and jumps from one set of rigging to the other, grabbing the knife and plunging it through the spider carapace, and then it's just hanging on for dear life. I'm afraid that has done you 15 points of damage.
Ouch.
You hear him shout the word traitor.
Rude.
As he vaults across the gap.
I am no longer a spider, because a spider's only got 11 HP.
Oh, fair enough. As that happens, yep, there's not enough sorrel for the knife to remain in the wound, so the guy just and falls.
It serves you right, mister. Ow!
The woman who you bit is down below you, frantically reloading her gun. It is your turn. What would you do?
I'm going to cast Summon Beast. What's it going to be? A wolf. I feel like I've got the wolf energy going. Who is just going to attack whoever you fancy. Whoever looks like they're the most captainy, smartest looking.
Yeah, the one who you bit just now has a real smart looking vibe.
In which case, yeah. So this...
Also, she's about to shoot you again, which is probably more relevant.
Yeah, that makes sense. So this beast is gonna have advantage on the attack roll. I mean, that was a 19. That is an 8 points of piercing damage to you.
Okay, so coalescing out of the smoke and embers of the deck, a wolf is formed out of the natural elements. It clamps its teeth down on this woman's leg and drags her to the floor as blood spills from her leg and this obvious wound. As she hits the deck, she looks up at you and cries,
What treachery is this? Is the memory so swift to abandon you, pirates of the Polychrome? From the earliest days of piracy in the Central Seas, it was agreed that no grudge, however bitter between pirate crews, cannot supersede the hatred towards the Empire. Pirates shall not fight pirates.
Plot twist.
As this is happening, you see the fighting stop in like a wave around this declaration. And you look around, you look up, and you see, as the moonlight breaks through the cloud, their flag illuminated for the first time, singed, but a skull covered by a white fan atop a black background, the symbol of the Wild Roamers, a pirate crew almost as famous and almost as queer as yourselves.
Oh, shit.
And as the fighting slows to a halt, as the crew of the Polychrome recognise what is happening, you see this woman shout,
Where is Olga Featherfine? I'll have her answer.
Rain pours down on the two crews. And can you make a perception check, please?
That is 16.
Okay, as you look around, you spot two things of particular note. One, your captain, Olga, is stood over a very injured other pirate from this other crew, but with her sword at their neck, ready to plunge it into their neck, and has stopped for a half second because they've realised everyone is watching. And you realise behind a much larger ship is approaching.
You idiot.
Clearly flying Imperial banners.
Gosh dang it.
But you're the only one who has seen that so far.
As soon as I'm able, I must scream that's what's happening.
As just before you do, Olga said something like,
My memory's no less good than yours, Yasmin. I remember the pressure of the Empire's heel on our necks. My kin, my blood, have all been victims of the Empire's tyranny, as have all my crew. And this was the only way to save them. Peace has been declared in the East. The Empire is coming back. All our heads are on the chopping block. So I made a deal with the Admiralty. Amnesty in exchange for your heads. I'm sorry, Yasmin, I am, but I don't see another way out of this. And it's all I could do to secure a future for the people of the Polychrome. For my family.
I mean, this doesn't seem great. Did she not take a vote or anything? Did you guys know about this? Did you get like a vote?
I've not heard about it. You've come down to the read.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about this. Did you?
No, I'm not like technically.
I did not know!
I'm not like technically part of your crew, but it definitely feels like something that should have gone to a group vote. Like
No,
the
well,
flock
you're part
should
of this,
probably
you're part
have
of
a
our
say.
crew, but not part of their crew.
Well, I'm not really part of you. I'm like a
Well,
kind
you're
of
part of the
intern.
Polychrome.
You're part of this crew.
Oh, well, thank you.
I've done you a quilt.
I mean, you should. I feel like you should always ask that. If you listen, I can speak to sheep. So if I'm wanting the flock to go somewhere, I'm going to ask the flock.
Okay.
I'm going to be like, hey guys, how are we feeling about this field?
Team.
Do we want to go and kill another flock of sheep?
They'll know sheep are the best analogy in this.
Shut up, man.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. But
I think we should go.
1 second. We've had a think. Could you maybe put that to the captain?
yeah, sure.
Kind of on our behalf.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Captain, sorry, it just feels like you made like quite a big decision without telling the crew. I don't know, and I asked them, and apparently you've never had a vote. Like I thought maybe it was a vote that happened before I came on the ship, but it sounds like you never had a vote. And like, I kind of feel like you could just, I mean, show of hands now. Who's like, hey, we should definitely hand over all of these fellow pirates to the Empire.
Oh, sorry, I went too quick. This one guy raises his hands up. I thought that was going a different way.
You know, I feel like
I'm sorry.
actually we should just Like, we feel like we have a lot of weapons. Could we take on this ship that's coming towards us?
I'm sorry, what ship? Oh!
As that happens, you hear from the big ship incoming. By the absolute authority of His Majesty, Autocrata Vint Imperium Peranus, Divine Emperor of Praetek, Liberator of the Central Sea, Inheritor of the World, all aboard your vessels are to throw down your arms and surrender immediately. Those who do shall know His Majesty's bounteous mercy. Your lives will be spared, and your past crimes overwritten by pledges of lifelong loyalty and service to the Empire. Or you may resist and be summarily destroyed. What say you? Be ye honest citizens or damnable pirates?
I can't hear. Can you hear? Hello? Sorry, we can't hear you. We can't actually hear. Can we just... Do you want to come? We can come on your ship. You can come on our ship.
They're saying they can't hear me. Is this on?
Can't hear... So
I'm not doing this. I thought you were doing the spell. You are?
Hello?
You should be able to hear us.
Is he talking?
Our wizard is amplifying my voice.
Are you talking?
No,
Can I
okay,
come
just
into your
fire
ship?
on them.
You come to our ship.
No, just use the guns.
How far away is this person?
We're clearly the villains.
Cannonballs begin to rain down like huge iron hailstones
Of course they
on
do.
the ship and the crew.
There's your amnesty, Olga. Submit or die. This is what they do. There is no oath that they will keep, nor no atrocity they will shy from in pursuit of their ends. I can understand your fear. I feel it too. But there has to be some point where we stop giving ground. Some line in the sand where we stop and say, this far and no further. Look at the people we have around us. At the communities we have built. The lives we are able to live. They will obliterate the freedoms we have found. Leave us with nothing but the breath in our lungs and call themselves generous. I refuse. I shall remain unbowed, and if this is to be my end, I shall die knowing I fought the true enemy. What will you do, Olga?
Yeah, I have to agree. I feel like, Olga, you really fucked up on that one.
Right? Also, you bit me, and that was super weird.
What? You know what? It was. We thought that you were a merchant ship.
Even so, biting is still weird in this context. Look, Olga, what is your call? Choose now. Quickly. We repel them or we flee.
Olga looks to you. Clearly,
I mean,
having a hard time with having betrayed the trust of her crew.
You're going to have to hold my ankles and dump me over the side of the ship.
I'm not gonna lie, that was not the pep talk I was expecting at this point.
Yeah, we're going to need allies. We're going to need them fast. I'm going to need you to take hold of my boots. I'm going to need you to flip me upside down and just dunk my head into the ocean.
I don't know what's happening, but I like your approach to this.
And so Olga, wings spread out behind, flap a couple of times, grabs you by the ankles, just takes off into the air over the ship, and then, Halloween style, dunks your entire head in the water, albeit travelling at speed, so your head is now like a rudder for a flying bird.
I'm going to call out to Xanthi, hoping that he will come with, other Kraken, or just alone as a little baby, to aid in the fight. And
Are you just shouting the Kraken's name, or are you shouting anything else into the water?
I think I'm going to just yell, we need your aid. We are being attacked by a ship of Kraken killers.
Give me a persuasion check.
Or you could let me roll an animal handling check.
I'll let you roll an animal handling check to...
That was 15.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Nice.
Okay. Almost immediately, the water around your ship begins to boil with activity. And in your head, you just hear... Hello. I brought my mum.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so the ship over there, you see the ones that's firing on us and trying to kill us. If you did one, I don't know whether they have any butter on board, but they definitely were in league with those people who were killing the Krakens before. And I think they kind of just do it for fun and not for any kind of, we're scared and we're trying to protect our families and whatever. I think they fully just do it because they like it. So if it's of interest, have at it.
And then you kind of, changing channels on an old walkie-talkie, you just hear, Mum, you're never going to believe... And then...
it goes quiet, so they have a little chat.
You hear another volley of cannon fire and screams from the Romer's ship, and a volley of other cannon fire going back. You can see the Polychrome is trying to peel around now as half of the crew are trying to get a good firing solution on the Imperial vessel. You hear a incredibly loud crack as an enormous
ludicrously large tentacle rises up out of the water and slaps down on the Imperial ship, snapping the hull of it in half. The amount of force has caused some of the wood to combust. There's a huge raging fire in the middle of the ship now. The tentacles come right down through the middle of it. Butter is leaking out into the sea. Just chunks of it. Butterbergs, I guess, is the only term I can think of. This ship was just hauling lumps of unrefined butter.
Butter.
Yeah. The Polychrome disentangles from the Wild Romer's ship. Your crew is largely brought back on board. Those who are injured are being treated by a couple of various clerics. I'm going to tee that up with a question. What prompted you to write your book, Here in Queer? And how did you find the writing process?
It was a really, really fun process. And it was something that I'd already done within videos, a lot of the content. So I'd already talked about aspects of queer history and culture. I talked about kind of giving advice to young people, all of this sort of stuff. Talked a lot about the concept of coming out. And in terms of neurodivergent stuff, so deadlines 10 out of 10. I fully don't know if I would have been able to do it without someone having been like, hey, do you want to do the book? Because it would have involved me, one, believing in myself that I could do it, and two, making the time without a deadline to like come up with a book proposal for something that I didn't actually know was ever going to happen. And so I needed that person to be like, hey, you need to prove you can write this book we think you can probably write. You've got like 3 weeks to send us this book proposal. Yeah. I'm kind of like, like a gas that fills whatever container it's in.
I found this out now, today, because my research had holes in it, it turns out. Did you get your book banned?
Well, so
let me rephrase. Not you didn't get your book banned.
Yeah, I did.
Did banning a book happen to you?
I messaged people on a big old email list and was like, someone banned this. No, I got a message on Instagram from someone basically being like, hey, our school is like voting whether to ban your book or not. If you would like to share, we're trying to get people to like come to like actually turn up to the vote and like all this kind of stuff. So obviously I did. But it was also not a surprise to me that this might happen because as I was writing the book, I like had a meeting with my publisher about the fact that it was in the States, it would most likely happen because it's very close in terms of like we cover sex ed and relationships ed in like an age appropriate way, and we're talking about queer stuff just in general, and also we talk about like intersectional queer stuff. So we talk about like misogynoir and transmisogyny, and we have examples of like queer people who aren't white in it, and it turns out that race is also a thing that schools love to ban books about in the States at the moment. So it was a nice little compounding of all of the potential issues. But good news that they didn't vote to ban it in the end. They had a lot of pushback from the proposal and they ended up not banning it. Very exciting. We love to see it.
As you variously set sail into the night / hang around to watch a Kraken just absolutely beast an Imperial ship.
I'm just like the majesty of
butter.
Nature. Wow. Yeah. Incredible. The sights we see. National Geographic.
The weirdest thing about it is like the crew were just on the deck of the Polychrome watching this happen, and it is majestic in its own way. It's terrifying as well. But like both Krakens present, the enormous one and the small one that you had befriended, Zenthig, are just like, hello, just waving at you.
Yeah, they basically just saw me get dunked into the ocean and then a Kraken appeared out of nowhere and took down the ship that we were fighting. Yeah.
Colby's like just staring at you amazed, like slack-jawed.
Yeah, pretty cool, Colby.
At which point, as you're watching the last of the Imperial ship sink beneath the waves and the last of the butter bubble up out of
just
the
wave, bye.
whirlpool, the Kraken sink beneath the waves, and Olga goes,
all right. One last time, crew. Listen up. On this night, it looks like we've declared war on the Empire again, and we've won the first victory. May it be the first of many. But none of that changes the fact that I failed you today. This day has shown me I'm no longer worthy to be the captain of this vessel. And it's revealed to us who is. Sorrel, through thick and thin, you've always put the crew first. And you've shown you have the heart of a true pirate. I've never received the blessing of the great Kraken Soothior, but it would seem, without a shadow of a doubt, that you have. I've no doubt the command of the Polychrome belongs to you, if you wish to have it.
I'm not really that into being an entrepreneur. I think it's, I'm not the captaincy. I feel like I'd be a bit nervous to take it on, but I feel like what we should do is not like have a captain. Like it should be a kind of like a group decision that we can vote on at any which time who maybe is like the most suited for that particular mission. So like if our mission right now is to just like go back and recoup, it's like who is good at organising like a rest and relaxation type situation. I feel like that would maybe be a bit better because I'm fully going to go back and look after my sheep after this, and I feel like that's not very conducive to like a captaincy position.
You're stood at the prow of the ship facing the rest of the crew,
Yeah.
who have all gone quiet and eyes wide as you realise you're in shadow. Behind you, the parent kraken has risen out of the sea.
Oh, hi! Sorry. Thank you so much for that. That was really helpful. Are you Xanthi's mom?
I am Zuthior,
Oh, hi,
the
Zuthior.
first Kraken.
Oh, wow.
And I bless thee, Sorrow, initially as captain of this vessel, but now as civic administrator, democratically elected on a perhaps 6-month rolling vote.
Yeah,
Does that
situation,
seem
yeah, like a
reasonable?
collective.
But that can also be redacted and replaced, assuming a sufficient number of crew, a majority of, let's say, 60% vote to amend these rules.
That sounds pretty good.
I was going to give you a sweet magic hat that captains have had for a long time, but in actuality, here is a whiteboard that will allow you collectively to plan excursions and entrepreneurial activities as a collective.
I love a whiteboard.
Yes.
Oh, that's
from the
amazing.
deed!
Thank you.
I was going to do a whole blessings upon you, worthy captain of the sea, but it doesn't really work.
You can bless you. You can bless you. You can bless you. Do anyway. Do anyway.
My blessings upon you, worthy civically elected leader of the sea. High five.
That too big. Way too big. My whole body is
The
like.
ship is destroyed. Yep, no, a massive tentacle the size of easily a mansion rises out of the sea, and then a smaller sub-tentacle, and then a smaller sub-tentacle.
Little tiny
and then
tentacles.
a very tiny sub-tentacle the size of a hand. Boop. Slap. And with that, Sorrel sails again off to apparently retirement and being a shepherd again.
Yeah.
But with a crew, a scurvy crew of queer shepherds.
Yay!
Hooray!
Go, Sorrel.
Thank you so much for playing. Rowan, thank you for joining us. And how are you feeling after that sea-based adventure, not wet adventure, as I was about to say? How are you feeling after the sea, this adventure on the high
Damn
seas?
little adventure. That was so much fun. Thank you so much. I've not done like a on the sea adventure. One of the campaigns I'm playing in, we're doing a little boat trip currently to get somewhere, and so I feel like we're going to be coming across some dangers in the ocean. But loved that. 10 out of 10. Also playing a druid that I never played as a class before, and has way more options than a lot of the other classes that I typically play. But it was very fun to be able to be like, I do so many different things. I'm a spider. I'm summoning a wolf. I'm doing the like spike growth stuff, which is way cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Spike growth is such a good spell. So, Rowan's book, Here and Queer, A Queer Girl's Guide to Life, is out in bookshops and libraries. You should definitely look at her YouTube channel. And if you want to know anything more about Rowan, she's on the internet.
Mm-hmm. And can indeed be found there.
Can be found
24/7.
So do look up Rowan stuff for more proud queer stories and analysis and history. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening, audience, if that is your real name. Let's Roll is a Whistledown production, edited and executive produced by Cary Morrison. Script writing and world building was done by Joshua MacGregor. Your cast members have been Dillon Harris, Cary Morrison and Ayesha Patel. Also, it was hosted by me, Paul Foxcroft. Thank you for listening, and we'll roll again next time.